What is going on, everybody? Hitmonchanning here, back again with another Pokemon trading card game online deck tech. Today we're taking a look at the brand new Yveltal from Shrouded Fable. And now I know what you're thinking, John, what is so special about this card? It's an uncommon, it's got 120 HP, what does it do? Well, the Corrosive Winds attack will let you put 2 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon that has any damage counters on them. And we're going to combine this card with the Froslass that came out in Twilight Masquerade. Freezing Shroud will let you put 1 damage counter on each Pokemon that has an ability, both yours and your opponent's. Now, the problem with Froslass decks in the past is that you actually couldn't accelerate doing enough damage to get knockouts, because you would try and control your opponent, but Freezing Shroud not doing that much damage every turn, even if you have 2 or 3 of them against those big HP Pokemon like, you know, Ogerpon EX or Miraidon EX or whatever, you're still gonna have a hard time to KO them. Well, now with Froslass and Munkidori and Yveltal, you can actually really ramp up this damage really quick. You can use Bloodmoon Ursaluna in the late game in order to take some KOs. You can use Mawile and Tempting Trap to buy yourself more turns. And I also have a 1/1 line of the brand new Duskull and Dusclops in here, so you can use Cursed Blast to purposefully go behind, and you can counter catcher something up, and those 5 damage counters you can place on something, for example, Roaring Moon EX, and then you can start spreading with Yveltal because Froslass won't affect a Roaring Moon. So we are playing also a Rotom in here just for some extra draw support in the early game. This deck is actually really cool. I think it's quite good right now, and it can actually make a name for itself in the Shrouded Fable meta. We are having a couple of other cards in here, obviously. We have Counter Catcher, we have a TM Evo to get a potential turn 1 Froslass. Like if we're going second, we can get that at the end of our first turn. Also playing a TM Divo, which is a key part of this deck's strategy into the Charizard and Dragapult matchups, respectively. We also have 1 copy of Hassel in here, which is really important to note because it lets you pull off a lot of combo pieces that something like an Arven can't get all at once. You can only use Hassel when you were knocked out in your last turn, though. Other than that, the deck is pretty straightforward. We have Gapejaw Bog for some extra energy, or sorry, extra damage counter placement. We have 4 Buddy-Buddy Poffin, 4 Nest Ball, and a single Ultra Ball to guarantee your evolutions. And then we have an Unfair Stamp as our ace-spec of choice. You could play Hyper Aroma in this too. Just putting that out there, Hyper Aroma is also very good. But I like Unfair Stamp a lot because Counter Catcher, Unfair Stamp is just really strong combo, especially when you're spreading damage and you're taking a lot of knockouts at once. And against cards like, or sorry, decks like Gardevoir, where you can just keep spreading like forever, and they're gonna have a hard time keeping those Curlias alive. Unfair Stamp is really good because you can Unfair Stamp, Counter Catcher, and then spread and knock out all their Curlias. So that's kind of your game plan against Gardevoir. That is basically the deck. The deck is pretty straightforward. It takes a little bit of finagling and a little bit of mathematics to play, but it's really fun. I think you're gonna love it. We're gonna check it out right now. Get some dubs. Just wanted to give a quick thank you to the lovely sponsors of the Hitmonchanning channel. If you need codes, you know where to go. Head over to ptcglstore.com and use code Hitmon to get 5% off your order. And be sure to check out Pokemon.gg, the best Pokemon card tracker and deck builder there is. Join Pokemon.gg by clicking the link below and use code Hitmon to get a free month of pro membership. Thank you to my sponsors for supporting the channel, and thanks to you for supporting me too. And now, let's get right back into the video. Our opponent is calling the coin flip. They chose heads. So naturally, tails never fails, but it is heads. And they are going to choose if they want to go first or second. It's a Chien-Pao coin, and usually Chien-Pao players are pretty open about the fact they play Chien-Pao. They're also choosing to go first. I think we're up against Chien-Pao. Things can get dicey in this matchup, but we have ways to win. I don't play Manaphy, but if I did, things would be a lot better. Whoa, that's Chien-Pao. Who would have guessed it? I'm hoping they just don't immediately murder us with Greninja. That's kind of my goal. They have a Shivery Chill. Yeah, we'll see what they got here. But I'll be sad. If it's just an attached pass, I'll be happy. Pokestop? Please Pokestop, don't give them everything they need. Oh, they got a Buddy-Buddy Poffin. It's over. It's so over. We're so cooked. We're so incredibly cooked. The good thing is if we can establish a couple Froslass, we might be fine because we can prey on them not having Silene access, or sorry, Prime Catcher access. But things be tough. Things be tough in these streets. 4 Seal Stone's pretty solid. I will Arven and get, this looks good because I do want to end this off with an instant charge. So here's the plan, because Team Evo doesn't do anything at this point in the game. We get Rotom. I'll Buddy-Buddy Poffin. just get the runts into play. Now, a forest, yeah, it's a forest sealstone. This is the angle. Star Alchemy. This is a forest sealstone, Buddy-Buddy Poffin angle, and this is fine. This is a decent position to be in because we like this has to be our setup. We can use Dusclops next turn. We'll instant charge to free up a bench spot and then use Yveltal, and we get triple Froslass in hand. I am not super angry about this position to like that we're in. But if they just get a Greninja play, like, things are going to be hard for us to come back from. I think it's possible, though, if we can just spam Devo and stuff. Pokemon Catcher's interesting. Please just knock out my Rotom. No, not my Duskull. Oh, they don't have anything in that hand. They've got 0 in that hand. Here comes the Pokestop. Pokestop getting Canceling Clue and Ultra Ball. It's kind of fine. I am actually really okay with this. Maybe they were concerned, I think, because of the Frigibax, because they're like, I have nothing in my hand. I need to KO this Duskull. But if they don't KO, okay, they are going to. Okay, things are fine for us. We're actually living somehow, some way. Getting rid of the Duskull. And now we'll lead with one of our runts, and we'll drop the Froslass. I think I'm going to Pokestop. Yeah. Terrible Pokestop. Shouldn't have done it. But I am also going to just Froslass it up in here. And I do think as well it's going to have to be an Arven for stamp angle. Now, it does suck. For sure. It for sure sucks. But I don't have anything else in this hand. I will instant charge later on, though, actually. So maybe the play is we Poffin. We Rod back our Duskull boy, Poffin charge. And I think that is actually a better play. I'm so dumb. Oh my gosh. Why am I not thinking? Why am I not thinking for? Okay, never mind. That's not the play. It's an instant charge angle instead. Why did I do that? Like, I don't know. Stuff be going on in this brain. This brain do not be working. At least we got some spread starting here. We'll see what they do here. This is a wacky tobacco list. They might be going for like a very aggressive build, but if they can't get a Bax in play, what does aggression do to you, right? This Pokemon Catcher. Yeah, this is interesting. I don't know why I did that. Why did I just throw? Like, because we literally could have gone for a Dusclops plus Munkidori on the Frigibax and won next turn, effectively. Like, why did I do that? But here's an Ultra Ball, and now if this Ultra Ball gets them their backs, then we'll be happy. If it gets them the Greninja and they can find the backs, then I won't be as happy. However, the Freezing Shroud will begin to just simply chip away at that Greninja, so things aren't the worst. They do have the SER in hand, I know that for a fact, so they can get all those energies back if they find the backs. Pokestop coming through here, getting rid of resources that aren't helpful to them, so that makes me happy. Because if they just take another KO on just Snorunt here, then I think we'll be okay. They're playing Arctobax. Okay, their list is weird for sure. This is definitely a weird list, so that's fine. But I think I'm gonna monkey it up on this Arctobax. Maybe Iono them. I'm thinking that's the plan here. Yeah, to get rid of a Snorunt, that's fine. Something else we can do is we can... Yeah, that might be a good plan. We'll Monkey Devo. Because then... Oh, I like that plan. Or do we prize Devo, though? Oh, I didn't check. I really like that plan. Because we can get rid of Bibarel. And simultaneously make it so they can't rare candy the Arctobax. I love that plan. Oh man, I really do love that plan, but I think we might have prized... No, I don't think we prized Devo, actually. Okay, here's the plan. Definitely Monkey. Definitely Rescue Board. We'll ditch Evo and Dusclops to find. Yveltal's good to have. We did prize Devo. Not as much of a fan anymore. But if we get, which we will, we can still get rid of this Bibarel. And that makes me happy. If we can find an energy, which we should be able to. So, yeah, I'll throw Yveltal down. Pokestop, which is pretty good. Countercatcher the Arctobax. And I think it'll just be an Iono angle, because we need to Adrenabrain, and then Froslass will take care of the rest. We have energy. We might just have to Super Rod back the energy, because this play isn't effective if we don't Iono them as well. So we'll just Super Rod back the one energy. And now we're gonna go for the Iono. Please give me an energy game. I'll be super happy. We got a lot of energy. So I am super happy, because we can Adrenabrain, move 3 from Mr. Rotom onto Bibarel. And honestly, we can retreat into Yveltal. Go for... We'll Vessel away. Don't necessarily need the Arven, but yeah, I think the Nest Ball is better, because I would like to be able to get rid of the Rotom at some point. And now we just instant charge once again, and here you go. This is how the deck is supposed to function, because now Bibarel will get just murdered by our army of Froslass. And, you know, their Chien-Pao is getting whittled down a lot too. Basically, they have 5 cards to work with. They need to find an evolution, as well as find a bunch of energy. And they have an SER at the bottom of the deck. We know that for sure. So it might be possible, because they're just an Irida away. But if they go overextend that far, they might not be able to get a good setup. Here's their SER. So this is 2 cards definitely discarded. Chien-Pao and a Poffin. But are they going to be able to find exactly what they needed? They could have just pulled 2 Iridas off the prizes for what we know. And then this is Buddy-Buddy Poffin, which is going to shuffle up the deck. And that will allow us to, or that will, you know, either make it better for them or make it worse for them. We'll see. It's definitely a we'll see angle, but they're going all out on the Frigibax. All 70 HPs to combat the Pult. So this is kind of crazy. Here's the concealed cards. I'm hoping they don't find their Bax Caliber. But they do have the Irida, so the Irida does get them the backs. And they have enough to Greninja. So things are tough here. Things are definitely tough going to 2 prizes remaining. We can go for a Bloodmoon play. It can be a Stamp Bloodmoon angle, which might be enough to lock things up for us. Especially if they... Well, we're not going to be able to get rid of the backs. That's the thing. Switch cart ain't going to work here, bucko. I hate to break it to you. Switch cart ain't going to work here. It's going to have to be a super cold for 5 energy. Unless they go into, like, Chien-Pao, get the energy, switch cart, that's also a possibility. That is a possibility as well. Just retreating into Greninja, okay. And are they going for the switch cart? That's my question. Pokestop. Dang, double Nest Ball is kind of crazy as well. Another SER, great for us, because the Iono will come through and put all these energies to the bottom. Unless they just mega load up this Radiant Greninja. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens here. I'm curious if they're going to just go all in on the Greninja. Or if they're going to power up the Chien-Pao too. Okay. And then Moonlight Shurikening. Yeah, definitely ditching the Froslass. And the Munkidori makes me sad. For sure makes me sad. And the Freezing Shroud will continue to put on the pressure here. Radiant Greninja, we can knock that out. We can go like Stamp Monkey to knock out the Greninja. But then if they just have boss, they win. Which is really scary. Or we can stamp Bloodmoon, this Chien-Pao, which is another good option. I actually like that option a lot more. They're down 2 SER. This needs to be attached. The thing is, this needs to be attached somewhere. And we need to find a way to get this Chien-Pao in the active spot in order to use this Bloodmoon. How many Gapejaws are we down? We're down none. This is possible. We just go right for this Iono here, or Penny plus Stamp. Maybe it's I think it's just a Stamp angle, and then we see what we get. Yeah. I do think it's just a Stamp angle and we see. Because I want to get rid of that Chien-Pao because it has all of the energy on it. We get Hassel. Hassel's not bad. I think the first thing to do is Pokestop, see if we just get Counter Catcher. We get Switch, which is pretty good, because now we can Hassel and hopefully find the Counter Catcher. We didn't, but we got Gapejaw Bog. Gapejaw Bog is interesting. Well, definitely, we're going to play the Gapejaw. But I think we want to get Iono and a Vessel, just so we can use the Vessel to thin. Unfortunately, because we attached to the Bloodmoon, we can't use it right now. If they find more energy to use on this Greninja, then we're in a pickle for sure. But I will drop the Monkey. I'll drop the Gapejaw. I'll Vessel. Get rid of the Iono. Yeah, because if we just take out the Greninja, because of Froslass, our Bloodmoon will go down. So, instant charge here seems like what we gotta do. We're getting really low on cards in deck. We're basically just hoping that they brick at this point. Look, the chances of them having exactly what they need aren't super high. They're down 2 Irida, they're down 2 SER, no Pokestops in play. I'm really hoping, like, really hoping they just pass, or they just Chien-Pao knockout Yveltal. If they Chien-Pao knockout Yveltal, we'll probably be okay, because we can Iono them again, and then use Munkidori. Okay, so it looks like it's just going to be a Chien-Pao knockout angle. Shivery Chill. Well, they can also draw. If they Shivery Chill, just get the 1. They can use it to draw if they have boss or whatever they play. They're going to be able to potentially win this turn. We do need to use Penny next turn, though. They get the Pokestop. Pokemon Catcher, please be Tails. Come on, game. You've done nothing for me today. Okay, thank you. Thank you, game. Here comes the Pokestop, for sure. Nothing super useful to them. That's also okay. And if it's just a Hellblade KO, at this point, I am happy, because Greninja's going to get knocked out later. That leaves basically no threats on board and a 2-card hand after Iono. So that's pretty good. But we'll have to wait and see. As I said, times be tough. Times be tough in these streets. We can also use Munkidori and start doing more spread, but that's not really going to work. It is just a Hellblade, get rid of 2, get 1 prize card. That makes me happy. We do have to be careful of our Rotom, though. We really got to be careful of our Rotom. It's got to get pennied next turn, because 2 plus 2 more. Things are tough, but we'll lead with Bloodmoon. I'm going to use it to get rid of this Chien-Pao. And now we are going to be able to ditch the Greninja. Okay, things are coming together. Ever slowly but surely they are. Munkidori is going to get this energy, or that, what's it called? It is an energy. We do have another Gapejaw, which is really good. So we are guaranteed to draw into it, which I'm happy about, to bump this Pokestop. And yeah, okay, this is solid. This is really solid. Bench Yveltal. And go for the Iono. 5 cards, we're guaranteed to get the Gapejaw plus, what's it called? The Super Rod's good to shuffle it too. So next turn we'll like need to find the Penny. That's my only reservation. If we get Devo here, nothing really is going to happen. This is 3 prizes we're taking. Monkey might be the key here. We'll preserve our Rotom a little bit longer. So 9, this is going to be plus another 4. And we are okay. I think we are okay. We'll Gapejaw right here. Then just Bloodmoon. So this Chien-Pao is gone. They got 2 cards in hand. Like literally 2 cards. And unless they are perfect cards, I don't think they can win. Counter Catch is a great card to have too. They're leading the Frigibags. It might be an attach collect angle. But right now, we're good. Greninja's gone. We got 2 prizes left. Basically, unless they put a Bidoof in play, like, you know, and they're really silly, we should just be able to win. But yeah, it's just a pass. Freezing Shroud. Munkidori's almost knocked out too, which is a little scary. Yeah, Rotom can live one more time. And we're almost there. We don't have it just yet. We're almost there. We can play the Devo and get rid of the backs, but I think... Which actually, that's a solid plan. We need to Adrenabrain. Rotom can survive one more. We can Counter Catcher up. It doesn't actually matter, right? Like, we can Counter Catcher up this guy. Well, Arven here. Switch, sure. Just to thin, like insanely thin. Switch into Yveltal. And yeah, if we Devo, yeah, okay. We got the dub against Chien-Pao. That was like, I was really stressed that game, oddly enough. But that's kind of just what happens with these control style decks. Bloodmoon was clutch. It was, you know what? The deck worked. I'm happy the deck worked. Our opponent is calling the coin flip. They chose heads, so naturally, tails never fails. We're gonna flip that coin, and it's gonna be tails, and I'm gonna choose to go second here. Don't want to go first. I want to get a feel for what my opponent is playing. Potentially get TM Evo play or instant charge play, one of the two, whatever is better for the situation. And we have supporters to play, which is really, really cool. So I'm thinking that I will lead with the Yveltal, and then we can Arven. We can get a lot of stuff done with this turn. Oh, I also don't want to let them know that I am playing the Froslass package. This is Raging Bolt. Please bench a bunch of Ogre Pawns. You bench 3 Ogre Pawns, and I can almost guarantee that you'll lose. Almost. We'll see what they do here. Be nice if they benched a Squawk right about now. I'd also be a very happy man. So we're going to go ahead and see what's happening. I think a TM Evo play would be very beneficial here. Here comes the Radiant Greninja. This is like one of the matchups where you want your opponent to do well. You want them. Like, please, get your Ogre Pawns. Please get your Squawk ability. You want them to get everything. You don't want them to dead draw, because if they dead draw and then you go for a setup, they'll know exactly what you're playing. And then it's like, well, how do you deal with that? Energy Retrieval for 1 is kind of crazy. Okay, they have an Ogre Pawn. And so basically the way that I approach this matchup is I try and count what exactly, like, right now 3 prizes to win. There are 3 prizes on the field, pretty much. I just want them to put down another Ogre Pawn and a Squawk, but it doesn't look like they have it if they're just attaching to the Raging Bolt. So we'll still go for the Evo play. I think that's fine. Double Buddy-Buddy is kind of crazy. Because we can get 2 Snorunt. We have a lot of Froslass. You get 2 Snorunt, we can get the Duskull. Yeah, it's going to be an Evo play, I think. We'll get Duskull, we'll get Snorunt. I think that's solid. Then we'll Arven for Nest Ball plus Evo. I think that's pretty good. I'm a fan of this play. Because we can actually guarantee our Yveltal for next turn. And then we can Evo. Like, this is where, you know, this is what the bee's knees are. Well, Evo. Next turn we can Duskull. We can Hassel. Hassel will allow us to essentially dig through the top 8 cards of our deck. We have the Dark Energy, so it would be nice to find Duskull so we can start spreading to the Raging Bolt. Or it'd be nice to find, like, I'd like to find a Stamp. If we can go for, like, a Stamp plus Duskull plus Counter Catcher, so we can Counter Catcher something else up, because they do need to discard 2 energy to KO the Yveltal, which is nice. It's not just 1. So that's something that makes me happy and smile from ear to ear. But they're gonna Earthen Vessel again, getting rid of Sandy Shocks. Sandy Shocks is a good attacker in this matchup. Actually, well, it does 60 damage, so it is pretty good. It's a pretty good attacker. You just hit with it twice because it doesn't get hit by Yveltal. But we'll have to see what their game plan is. I doubt their game plan is gonna just be a keep 1 Ogerpon in play. Think they'd want to do more, but we'll see. We'll see. We're gonna have 5 turns of spread, so that's gonna be 100 damage that we can put on the board with just Yveltal, and then 2 per tick with Froslass. So we are gonna want them to do a little bit more here. We're gonna want them to put a little bit more. Oh, getting their Sandy Shocks back, interesting. And okay, they have Asada. We're gonna want them to put more evolution Pokemon in play. Or not evolution Pokemon, ability Pokemon. What am I talking about? Right now we have a potential we have the potential 5 prizes on the field, but it's gonna be tough to KO this Raging Bolt. So ideally I'd like to get a Munkidori play. Yeah, they're just gonna, if they just stick with a solo bolt, things might be tough to spread and KO this. But if they do that play, we can just go in with Bloodmoon at the end of the game and completely sweep it up. So I'm not super concerned about that. We have our Yveltal. We're gonna get some more freezing shrouds going here. Things are looking pretty good. I'm happy so far with this game plan. I would like to put a Duskull down though, so we'll see. We're gonna start with the Hassel right away. We get Stamp, which is great, Ultra Ball, which is great, and Nest Ball is pretty great too. Nest Ball can get me the Monkey just to prepare. Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of that. I think I am a fan of that. We just want to make sure. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So Monkey. The thing is, we're never going to be able to use the Monkey effectively, so might as well Nest Ball and grab our Yveltal. And just so we have it, we don't have to worry about finding switches and stuff. We can do this. Now we can Ultra Ball. And I'm a fan of grabbing the Dusclops, obviously. I do like to have the Dusclops. I think I want to target the Bolt just in case they play the Bravery Charm. I'm not as concerned about Sandy Shocks, so that's completely fine with me. We get the Counter Catcher too, which is really, really great. I was debating getting that as well. We can Counter Catcher up the, what's it called? The Shocks. And I can Curse Bomb the Bolt and start spreading. I actually do like that idea. So we'll Curse Blast. Yeah, we'll Curse Blast, hit the Raging Bolt. We'll Counter Catcher. Bring up the Sandy Shocks. Because it'll also, if they need to retreat it, this is also the way you kind of got to think. If they need to retreat it, they'll have to use 2 energy, so they can't attach to somewhere else. So Mr. Counter Catcher will come up and bring up the Shocks. Then next turn, we can Counter Catcher it again, which is very cool and cash money swag. So we'll just go ahead and Corrosive wins here. So Corrosive wins 20 to everything. There, now you can see kind of how fast this damage will ramp up. It's a shame that the Freezing Shroud isn't like all Pokemon with damage counters on it as well, because that would be pretty cool. But for now, we can continuously spread. They have a 4-card hand. One of them is probably an energy. But if it's an energy, then they need to use it to retreat. They need to swing. Then we can Counter Catcher up the Shocks again. So you can kind of see what we're doing. Or they just have the Sada naturally. They can Sada over there and draw 3 cards. Please bench another Ogerpon. That would make me very happy if you did that, personally. I'd like that a lot. Because if they bench another Ogerpon, then that would be cool. But they're just going to go right into the Bolt. And it's going to be a Corrosive wins for the KO. So now we have 3 more turns. The countdown is on. Things are getting a little bit sketch. But they're really committing to this Bolt here. They haven't played anything like a Switch cart yet, which is kind of why it's pointless to target down the Sandy Shocks. So the Counter Catcher, I'm hoping, because this has been 2 Sadas that they've played, I'm really hoping that this Counter Catcher will work to stop them from advancing for a turn. If we can stall for a turn, that would be nice. We'll lead with the Yveltal. Now, Freezing Shroud's going to do its business. I do want to make sure we should have enough in the deck. We can Super Rod back some cards here. The Rescue Board is kind of good to have. But with our hand right now, I think we actually need to get rid of it. I like the idea of going for a Super Rod here, getting back some Dark Energies. Or I can get back like a Dark and the Duskull line. But no, Duskull line's not going to do anything. I think some Dark Energies and even an Yveltal is good because we're going to run out. So yeah, the Vessel on the Rescue Board. Grab 2 of these. And then we'll attach, or we'll bench, attach, Counter Catcher, and Corrosive Winds, spreading some more and some more and some more. Yeah, so we're gonna really need to try and like, we gotta take a prize off the Greninja, which is really nice here. Freezing Shroud will put in its work. Eventually we'll hit this Ogerpon. Between the next turn we should. We get Arven, which is great. Arven is actually exactly what I wanted to find here. It's a shame that we had to get rid of that Rescue Board though, because I would have loved to find Rescue Board to attach it and get free retreat. Here comes a Pokegear, which is going to net them another Sodom. So they might be able to just get a free ride out of here with that Sandy Shocks. And then if we can surprise them with a, what's it called? If we can surprise them with a Bloodmoon Ursaluna, I would like that a lot. Hopefully they don't bench another Bolt. We'll have to wait and see. They've got a really huge hand now after that Unfair Stamp they kind of drew out of it. So there's another Teal Mask Ogerpon, but it is too little too late, I think, for us there. We got 2 more turns of spread. Things are going to be tough. At the very least, we can hit this Ogerpon where it hurts. So this Arven, it'd be nice to get some things going here. We got to take 5 prizes. It might be a challenge. But maybe they just swing with Magnetic Burst here. I don't know. Maybe that's what they choose to do. Our Arven is going to not be the most helpful card in this moment. If we can get an Iono, I'd be really happy. I would be very, very happy. But if they can't retreat this Shocks and they have to swing, that's even better. We get another turn of spread. We're going to be able to get rid of that Ogerpon. But no, they can retreat the Shocks, which is bad for us. And they can Bolt, get rid of 2 energies. They are, you know, they do have another Bolt in play, which is pretty rough for us. So Arven, what we might need to have to do is Arven for Nest Ball 4 Sealstone. Oh no, but we can't, because then if they just have Boss, they win. So that's not as good either. Yeah, that can be rough for sure. That's gonna be rough. Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna close this game out. It's gonna be a challenge. The Earthen Vessel is not what we want. We want to use this Arven. Arven can grab us. Can try another Counter Catcher play, and then we can try and just Counter Catcher up the Sandy Shocks once more, or we can do the other Bolt, but the other Bolt can attack, so it doesn't really matter. They just need to Sada plus attach. So I think the Shocks is better, and I will Earthen Vessel and get rid of this TM Devo. Draw some more energies. Yeah, we're in a tough spot, but I'm not exactly losing hope. They have 24 cards left in deck, which you have to remember. So if we can just buy 1 turn. Basically, this next turn sequence, we're going to get rid of one of their Ogerpons. Also, it would be nice if we had another Snorunt in play. We would have had a lot more damage on the board, but you know, that's how it be. They haven't used any switch cards yet either, so unless they've cut them in favor of some other things. But they do they have all their Sadas, so that's all their Sadas that have been used. They need to, again, attach to the Sandy Shocks. They need to find a way to retreat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 energy accounted for. This deck usually plays about 9, so we'll see what they actually grab off of this Earthen Vessel. They're getting rid of the Squawk ability, which I really would have liked if they played. Cannot lie, but they do have double grass energy in deck still. They got plenty of energy to go. This deck actually plays more than that. This deck plays more like 11 or 12. So there's ways we can win this, but it's gonna be a tough battle. It's gonna be a really tough battle. We're essentially going to need to find we need Froslass to do its thing. We're gonna need to find pretty much a Bloodmoon, like Iono Bloodmoon is the only way we're gonna win this game. But I do have hope. They have to spend a lot of resources retreating the Sandy Shocks. And you have a lot of energies in play. They're going for this Raging Bolt. And I doubt they're going to ditch the energy off of it. So, we might be okay. Yeah, they got rid of the Ogerpon's energy. This is going to be tough. It depends what we draw off the prizes plus the top deck. We'll lead with the Snorunt here. Freezing Shroud will net us those 2 prizes. Like I said, it's going to be really, really hard here. But it's possible. It's very possible that we can squeak out a win. The Iono's a great start. Another Dark Energy. So it'll have to be Snorunt. I don't want to put the Gapejaw in play. Just want to hit the Iono. Please give me Bloodmoon. I have never asked. I don't ask for a lot. We don't get the Bloodmoon. We get the Rotom. Not good. Buddy-Buddy Poffin can't get us anything. If we got Bloodmoon, I actually think we would have won this game. I think we would have, unless their card in hand is like exactly what they need. I think we would have won the game if we got the Bloodmoon. It was a lot to ask, but you know what? I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. We can even bench the Rotom. They just got to discard 3 energy, so it's not really worth it. I'll let them do their thing. I'll instant charge and go out with a bang. But this game really came down to the wire. If we found our Bloodmoon, I think we would have been fine. Because if we Bloodmoon this Raging Bolt, we just need to find a Switch plus Retreat to end the game, or like a Penny Retreat kind of combo. But we'll see if they had anything in hand. They had a Vessel anyway, so if they have the 2 energy, it looks like they just had the 1. They might not have actually been able to get a KO with the Raging Bolt. They could just do that. And then unless that was no, we need Pal Pad. But yeah, there's Developing Thunder. Do your thing. You deserve it, King. But yeah, it was a really, this was a good game. It was a good showcase of the deck. Again, these decks it can struggle with, especially if your draws aren't great and your opponent's able to kind of draw out of scenarios. But I think a GG nonetheless. Definitely a GG. So what do you think of my Yveltal spread deck? This deck is a ton of fun to play, and I think it's pretty good right now, but truthfully, I'm always honest with you, I do think the list needs a little bit of work. The deck, sometimes you just don't draw. Like, you can't find supporters. I genuinely think, even though you have 4 Arven, 4 Iono, and a Hassel as your draw / search supporters, I think this deck might even want research, just to draw more cards. You might need it, but the deck is pretty consistent. Lots of fun. The Rotom inclusion is a little bit sketchy. You can literally remove the Rotom and just add more TM Evos, and that way your game plan is less about going to draw those cards. You can pretty much just play, I don't know, any Pokemon that can help you draw. Maybe you play a Cleffa, but that makes your Gardevoir matchup a lot worse. But you can play a Cleffa to try and draw on your second turn. I don't know. But the TM Evo is really good. You could play the researches. You can play a lot more Hassel if you want, because Hassel's pretty strong in this deck. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and comment down below, what do you think? What do you honestly think of this Yveltal deck? This deck is so fun to play. I think everybody should give it a shot. It's really, really cool. Subscribe to the Hitmonchanting channel. I'm posting multiple Pokemon trading card game videos every single week. And with all that said and done, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, Hitmonchanting out.